All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to the Father, Yahweh, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shah, who the word hiddenly called Jesus Christ. We are the Hebrew Israelites coming here today with another topic. And today we're going to be dealing with who fits the characteristics of Esau, Edom today. That's going to be the topic of the day because we're going to try to stick to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? The further class, in a future class, we'll further go into, you know what I'm saying, extra biblical sources, you know what I'm saying, to further backs up, substantiate who is Esau Edom today. But for the main part today, we're going to, you know what I'm saying, deal with the precepts. So let's bring out Hebrews 13, verse 9.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 9. Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace, not with meats, which have not profited them that have been occupied therein.
That's right, man. So as we near towards the, you know what I'm saying, these end times, we seeing all these purposes being fulfilled. You see a lot of brothers, they starting to venture out, man, and starting to be carried away with these diverse and strange doctrines, right? You got brothers being carried away with the hell doctrine. That's a strange doctrine. You got brothers being carried away with this Negro only doctrine. Everybody's supposed to look like Wesley Snipes doctrine. That's a strange doctrine. Now you got this doctrine that we're going into today, which is my first time, you know what I'm saying, since I've been in this truth. And I've been in this truth, let me see, around November, December, it'll be 10 years, going on 10 years since I've been in this truth. And this is the first time, I don't know if this is a new doctrine, but this is the first time that I can recall hearing of this doctrine that now, you know what I'm saying, Esau ain't the so-called white man. He's not the Arabs. Now Esau, when it gets into the birth of Esau and Jacob, is speaking about doctrine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard that doctrine before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all brothers ever came across anybody teaching that strange doctrine, but if y'all got something to say about that, y'all go ahead and say.
Yeah, that sounds like I think I heard somebody say like it's one of those Christian apologist doctrines that sprang up to explain away. And like I said, like the Christian apologists, everything they do is to come against our doctrine. No matter how crazy or foolish it sounds, they're gonna use something just to explain it away. Right? Just like we was out there on the Sabbath, like these folks just hate us, man.
Right.
And instead of like I said, we don't have a problem if you disagree with us. But bring forth your strong reason, right?
That's right.
That's all we ask. Like if you don't like what we say, bring an antithesis. Bring something forward that's an antithesis, right? And then we can talk about. We can go, you know, exchange ideas about both sides and try to come to an agreement, but we probably won't agree. But some of these doctrines, that's strange, right? That is doctrine. I think I saw Sakari or one of them camps talking to Yaju, and one of his cats said that. So
talking about the dude that going around claiming that he's the Christ.
Yeah.
Man, what gets me when it comes to cats like that, man, and dudes that's pushing out these strange doctrines is how they be getting people to follow behind these strange doctrines. How they be getting people to sit up there and cheerlead them on with these strange and diverse doctrines, man. That what really gets me. It's like our people just love to be fed lies, man. You know what I'm saying? They can actually get people to, you know what I'm saying, follow along all this, you know what I'm saying, these false prophets. I don't understand how they're getting people to follow them. Just like you got the other dude that's claiming he's King David, man. Now he's telling his congregation you can eat pork, you can eat anything you want. They even had like unclean foods thing at their Passover, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's steady gaining more and more members, more and more followers, man.
So the problem is, man, all us were in high school, and there was this class of special kids, and the bus they rode wasn't as long as the bus we rode most of the time, right? So after everybody graduated, man, they let all of them folks loose, and they didn't tell you who was who. Right? So all of them got out of school, you don't know who was who, man, and they popping up as these strange doctrines, man, because there ain't no way, right? They got to be them kids that was in them special classes in high school.
I agree with you. Because the same people that's pushing out this Esau, being an allegory and being doctrine and stuff, Now they're also saying that when you go into the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter, when they're giving the unclean and clean food, they say that's not literal. That's doctrine, unclean and clean doctrine. I like, man, my head was spinning listening to these guys. Like I say, you got people cheering them on, agreeing with these false doctrines, man. Like, like I was saying, man, they got to be those special kids, man, that roll that little short button, man. Because ain't no way in hell you finna tell me when the Lord gave Moses those dietary laws, you know what I'm saying? That's an allegory dealing with unclean and clean doctrine. Ain't no one tell me that he's the Christ, man. When you go into the Bible tells you, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna arise false Christ. It says so when they say low there, there's Christ, you know what I'm saying, believe it not, but yet and still these people begin followers to believe in their doctrines, man. Uh,
Con,
you got
man.
something?
It seems like in these last days, man, the Most High is taking the spirit off some of these brothers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Taking that
That's
oil
why
away
they
from
taking that oil away from them, man. That's why they coming out with these strange doctrines, man. Such
them.
as Esau being a doctor, man. That's
All right.
most one of the silliest things I've heard, man. You
Yeah,
know
man.
what I'm saying?
That got to top the charts. It's as long as I done been in this truth, that top the chart right there. Like you said, the most strange, diverse doctrine that I ever heard taught amongst the Hebrew Israelite community. Uh,
Con, man.
so bring out that Psalm 119, verse 104.
Con. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way.
Right, man. So when you go to the Bible, man, this is your main. The Bible is your main source. Anybody coming to you and they teaching you, man, make sure you go through the precept. That's how you get understanding, man. So what they're telling you or what they're teaching you is not lining up with the precept. You know that's a false way. And this right here,
Con,
teaching that Esau, Edom is an allegory, not literal. It's dealing with doctrine, righteous doctrine, and false doctrine. That's a false way, man. Because it don't line up with the precept. You get understanding through the Bible. Like I say, this is our main source, and we got other extra biblical sources that's dealing with history that we can go to, you know what I'm saying, to further substantiate us saying, you know what I'm saying, that Esau, Edom is the so-called white man. But when you go through when you read the Bible, man, you see the characteristics, and you know what I'm saying, that we're going to show you, you know what I'm saying, you should be able to see without a shadow of a doubt who these characteristics fit today. What race of people on earth does these characteristics apply to today, man? And you shouldn't even need no other book. That just, you know what I'm saying, for other brothers that already got the understanding, really, because when you go come across a cat who don't want to see something, it no matter what you bring to them, they gonna disregard, especially when you come bringing a book outside the Bible, they're gonna automatically say, well, that ain't the Bible. Show me where it say that in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So the main
con.
source to see through to get understanding on who these nations are today is the scriptures. So, y'all brothers got anything y'all want to say, man?
Con, man. It's like we were going into that Psalms 83, man. Bring that out.
Come.
Did you have that on your precept list up?
You bring it out.
Yeah, we'll get that real quick, man. Because if Esau is a doctrine, man, then I guess all these other nations of people right here in Psalms 83 is a doctrine too. So
Right.
we go to Psalms 83, start verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. So I guess if Esau, because if you go to Genesis, let me get that too, man. Get that, bring down Genesis, man, where it says Esau is Edom. Hold on for a minute.
Genesis 36 and 8.
Yeah, 36 and 8, man. Yeah, let me
It
read that real
says,
quick. Go ahead, up.
thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Now do me a favor. Hold on a second. Let me want to pull something up about this
All right.
Mount Seir. It says Esau is Edom. Edom is Idumea.
Con,
in parts of the Old Testament and the New Testament, we see Idumea, they're talking about Edom,
Con.
right? But I want to look up Mount Seir, because there's something interesting about Mount Seir. Give me Deuteronomy 2:5, and then I'm gonna read this about Mount Seir.
Con. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 2, verse 5. Meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land. No, not so much as a foot breadth. Behold, I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for possession.
Con. So Esau dwelt in Mount Seir.
Con,
Seir was in modern day, but they called the Hurrians. The people that lived up there that Esau replaced were called the Hurrians. In the scripture, they called the Horites, right?
con,
Seir means hairy or shaggy, right? Patriarch of the Horites, the inhabitants of Edom before the descendants of Esau, the Edomites, right? So the Most High gave Mount Seir to Esau. The people that were there in that land, Esau took over that land. And I'm bringing this forth because people like to say, well, Esau, they married black women, they married Canaanites, yada, yada, yada. All them sons married them women up there in Mount Seir. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Horite means cave dweller. So the Hurrian, the Horite is the cave dweller, the caveman, right? The Edomites took over the mountain where the cave people, the cavemen were, the cave dwellers, the Hurrians. And so for you to say, well, they married Canaanites, so they couldn't have been Caucasian, they whole nation intermingled with Hurrians, right? Cave people, right? And I'm gonna stop right there for now because I got some more later on about the Roman Empire.
man. And you can just look at this architecture right here, man, Petra, man. And see, man, that same architecture we're seeing in Greek, Rome, America, and all these nations where you got the Edomites ruling, man. So I mean, it's obvious who Esau is, man. I mean, he ain't no doctrine. He delivered a false doctrine to our people called Christianity, but Esau himself was an actual person, man. His descendants are the Edomites, man, who are the so-called Caucasian race.
Right.
That's right.
So and the point is saying is, I know a lot of y'all think Japheth was the Caucasian. So even if you don't agree with what we teach, if Esau took over Mount Seir and bred out with all them cave people, them Caucasus, because later on in history it shows that them same people that lived in Mount Seir ended up in the Caucasus Mountains, in the caves, in the same condition they were living in Mount Seir. So no matter how you say it, if you believe us, if you don't believe us, they still bred with cave people, cavemen, mountain dwellers, and the Caucasus Mountains, where y'all say the purest, quote unquote, white people come from.
Right. That right us too, man. Like you said, man, they dwelt in the mountain, man. Still to this day, Esau like living in high places, man. That's why they always building these skyscrapers and things like that. Cause that's their nature to be, you know what I'm saying, in these high places like they was in the Caucasus Mountain, man. So all these attributes.
A Hebrew Israelite house ain't supposed to be more than 2 stories. It's supposed to have a flat roof with a gate around it. Because the Hebrews go out and sit on that roof in the day to chill. You know how they be chill in tents. And it couldn't be so high that if somebody fell off of it, they would injure themselves.
Right? So man, let's bring out Genesis
right
chapter
here, man.
4.
You can see that same architecture. You can see that same architecture right here, man, in Washington, D.C., man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's quite obvious who the Edomites are, man. They carry the architecture and design with them wherever they went, wherever nation they ruled in.
Right. Like I said, to me, man, I just think is, you know what I'm saying, brothers are just still, you know what I'm saying, got a bad case of that Stockholm Syndrome, man, because they know the future judgment that the Lord said is going to befall Esau, Edom. So they just trying their best to try to, you know what
Uh,
I'm saying, make that not be the so-called white man, because they can't picture a world without the so-called white man in rulership, man. And it's a shame, you know what I'm saying, even brothers in this truth still got that mentality with trying to save Esau, man. But like we always say, Esau don't give a damn about you. The so-called white man don't give a damn about you, man. You know what I'm saying? But you still want to say your oppressor, say your slave master. That's why I think these false doctrines like that be coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to save the so-called white man from that future judgment that the Lord got in store for them. So
Yeah, it's amazing
so,
because like if you really get down to it, we a little bit harder on Esau over here because that's who our oppressor is. But I'm sure the Israelites over in the eastern part of the world, they curse the Arabs like we curse Esau, right? They cursing Ishmael like we curse because that's who's oppressing them over there. They still kidnapping them and put them in slavery over there.
uh,
But you never hear them get as upset when we bring up any other nation as they do for Esau.
right.
When we teach, nobody ever asks about Ishmael. Nobody asks about Moab or Ammon. Nobody asks about Cush. They all they ask about is what about white people? And the typical response is, well, what about you? What about your people? Right? Because even growing up, if you had a father that was halfway decent, he would tell you you can't do anything for anybody else until you do something for yourself. And that's what we're trying to tell you, right? We, as a nation of people, we need to do for ourselves. And then if you want to worry about the other nations, that's on you, right? But and that's what these scriptures teach, man. When they talk about the law of Christ, bear one another's burdens and all that stuff, that's what we're trying to teach you guys. Love yourself and your people first. Stop killing each other. Stop doing all this. But instead of hearing us, y'all defend every other nation, and in the same next breath, you curse your own people.
Right.
yeah, I don't think our people, man, want to hear that, man. For whatever reason, they've been convinced that loving your enemy, man, is talking about the other nations, man. When it's talking about the enemy of your brother, man. And like you said, because on the other side of the world, man, it's the Ishmaelites who are oppressing our people. Here in Babylon, man, it's the Edomites. So for whatever reason, man, they feel that they gotta love the oppressor, man. And that was taught to us in captivity, man. That's why they
Right.
gave us that false image of for the Son of God, man, to teach us to love them, man. And our people can't seem to get that out of their heads, man. So whenever we try to bring this truth to them, man, the first thing they want to say, "Oh man, you guys going to hate?" Yeah, no, man, we just teach you the Bible, man, trying to share a little bit of our history, your history with you. But they don't care about learning our history, man. They want to stick with the lies that they've been taught. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how much script you bring out to them. It don't matter how much historical evidence that you bring out to them. Stuff that we did right now, because you know what I'm saying. I mean, we going into archives and digging out stuff, man, that Esau himself kept record of, man, and presenting that to our people, man, and they still looking at you, man, like you speaking a foreign language to them, bro. It's
Right.
like they don't want to hear it, man. They're comfortable in their captivity, and they want to stay in the captivity, man. And they definitely don't want to hear that Esau is the Edomites are the so-called Caucasian race, man. Because if that's the case, then this great nation right here, when you go and you start talking about Babylon, because they definitely don't want to hear that this is the most hated place that of all the earth that the Most High hates, man. So they love it here, man. Even though this,
Yeah,
the
they
scripture
love
says
it.
it's not our rest, man. They
Right.
love it here.
Man, like I always say though, man, we went out there, man, with a chart, and I know most brothers don't have Dan on the chart. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, we was to put Dan on that chart and put the so-called white man on there, when nobody have a problem. Hey, they'll love to hear this truth. Then we have so many members, because they'll look on that, they'll say, okay, the so-called white man can make it. You know know what I'm saying? They won't have no problem. Like you said, they don't care about the Arabs, they don't care about the Chinese. All they care about is loving the so-called white man. They want the so-called white man to be a part of everything. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we're saying the so-called white man, we ain't even just saying just them. We're saying all nations can't be a part of this.
Right. That's my
Uh,
point. Yeah.
They got a problem with it.
Yeah.
But that's
yeah,
how
that
our
means.
forefathers were, man. When you bring
Oh,
that out in
sorry.
Ezra chapter 4, man. Because our forefathers was in the same spirit that we're in today, man. You know what I'm saying? We had other nations try to come, you know what I'm saying? Like we finna go into it, that was trying to help build the temple during Ezra and Nehemiah time. So let's see how what type of spirit our forefathers was in when these other nations tried to come and try to help them build the second temple. Ezra chapter 4. Things started at verse 4.
Uh,
Ezra chapter
Ezra 4.
4. I think it said 3 and 4, right?
Chapter 4, I think. Yeah, start at verse 4. Yeah, verse 3 or 4.
Let's start at 2 to get context. Well, I just started at the top. It's just for verses. Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord God of Israel. Now, keep in mind, like, because there's another doctrine about we wasn't in captivity here. Like, the first thing is we're in captivity, and we brought this out at camp. We are yet this day in our captivity, right? And if we try to build something, they will tear it down.
Right.
Historically, they burn churches, they burn cities and towns, they tear down whatever we try to build because we are in our captivity.
Just like you said, man, we're building the physical temple now. What are we doing now? We're building that spiritual temple. And guess who the first people coming? Our adversary coming against us, since they can't be a part of it, they trying to destroy what we're building. Man.
Right. Then they came to Zerubbabel and the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God, as ye do. And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Assur, which brought us up hither. Right?
Right. So that's going into when Northern Kingdom was removed, you know what I'm saying, exiled out of the land. And then they brought other nations and put them into the land of Israel, Samaria. So that's what they're going into, saying we was brought up here, we've been sacrificing to your God too. So go ahead,
right. But Zerubbabel and Yeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, you have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our God, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel. Right? As King Cyrus, the king of Persia, hath commanded us. Right?
Right. So that's the same spirit we in, man. We out there on the highways and byways, we're trying to wake up our people, man. You know what I'm saying? These other nations, they don't like that. So when you read on in the history, those other nations, the adversary, our enemy, was coming and they were trying to hinder the building of the temple. And the same thing they trying to do now. These adversaries, mainly Esau, Edom, the number one adversary today, is trying to hinder this movement. You know what I'm saying? That's why they like we said, they always coming up with these different organizations. It's what is the Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL or whatever. They always coming up with different things. That's them trying to hinder, you know what I'm saying, this truth from being spread and this spiritual temple being built. Man.
Yeah, and the House just passed the anti-Semitism bill. What was that? Last night? Yesterday. Yeah,
Anti-Semitism Awareness Act.
So now you go out and try to teach the Bible. You got to be real careful about what you say, right? But it still got to pass the Senate, and which it probably will. But I don't know with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Come on, man. Yeah. And with that, man, what's funny about that, man, is that they're only using that to apply to the small havers in the land. When although they are Shemitic, man, because they descend from Esau, they're not the only Shemitic nation of people on the face of this earth, man. The Philistines, the Palestinians over there, man, are Shemitic. You know what I'm saying?
The fake Palestinians, because we know the real Palestinians are Philistines with Hamites. But those ones, the Arabs over there, they land now, they Shemitic.
They Shemitic, man. We Shemitic, man. Yeah, we Shemitic. Ammon, Japanese, Chinese, they Shemitic. But this
Right.
bill is only going to apply to the small habits, man. So I
Con,
mean that right there, man. They just framing the law, a wicked law, man, just to come after this truth, bro, because they don't want the truth coming out. The truth has been exposed, uh, and they trying to hinder the building like you were going into. So
con.
that's all that's about, man.
Man, bring out that Job 9 verse 24, man.
Con, I got you up. This is the
But like I
book of
said, man, you
Job.
know what I'm saying? We don't know, we don't have no power to be able to pass bills, to be able to protect our race and the things that are being done to us and our people, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We have no power whatsoever. But who has this power to be able to pass bills and pass laws to be able to protect that nation of people? So Job 9:24.
Con, this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So it said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, meaning what the power, the authority, the control of the earth, the nation of people that's ruling, that's in power, that's in authority are the wicked. And it said he covered the face of the judges thereof. Who are the judges? The Israelites, man. Who is the main
Con,
judge of
con,
the earth? Who the world calls Jesus Christ, whose real name in the Hebrew is Mashiach Yahushua. How they cover the face of man by painting them to look like the look in the likeness of their images, man. And who did that? Who went around the earth commit iconoclasm of all these different, you know what I'm saying, images that was on the earth, man. The Chinese man ain't do that. He ain't go around painting the Chinese Moses. He ain't go around painting the Chinese Apostle Paul. He ain't go around painting the Chinese Jesus Christ. Who did that, man? The so-called white man did that. And you know he is the wicked that has control and power of the earth.
Con. And so Putin just opened that vault, right? And like I said, whatever that narrative was about the fake interview of Putin, nonetheless, what was in that vault, we already knew that because we got the
con.
books of the Russian icons. We already knew that, and we've been showing you guys that for years.
Right.
But the point is, why is it in a vault locked away in the first place?
Con.
Right? If images look like that, and those are in a vault from before the Renaissance period, what happened that vault was sealed away from public view and something else was given to us, and now when the vault comes up, now it's a problem, right?
Con, man.
Why was that
Con.
vault locked away in the first place? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's right.
Right? He covered the
Con,
faces
man.
of the judges thereof, right? That's what it is. Just like Maccabees 3:48 said, right? They opened the book of the law and they painted their images in the
Con.
book, right? So it's something that's been going on since the Greeks. So it shouldn't be any surprise to us.
That's right.
Con, man. And I'm gonna bring out that Malachi 1 and 4 for y'all. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they should build, but I will throw down, and they should call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever.
Right.
So, I mean, Edom is called the border of wickedness, man, the beginning and end of the wickedness. Going back to that Job 9 and 24, man. So it's showing you who the wicked is of the earth. And just like you said, because I mean, going back to the Greek, man, when they was, Maccabees 3:48, when they were painting their images, man, in our Bible, man. You open up the scriptures, man, unless you get one specifically that says so-called African American Bible, whatever, man. Whose images are you gonna find in there, man? You're gonna find images of the Edomites, so-called Caucasian images in there. That's who the Bible's talking about, man. It's plain and clear who Edom is, because who else has done these things? And like you brought out, Gideon, the Chinese didn't do it, man. I haven't seen one Bible, man, where I opened up and saw Moab in there as Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I haven't
Con.
seen one Bible where I open up and see Moab as Moses or Moab as Paul. It's
Con.
Edom who's done these things, man. Basically they've oppressed it. They, subjugated the truth, man. And now that this truth is coming out, they want to demonize it. Getting rid of the Bible, getting rid of Black history, man. Because they don't want this knowledge to continue to be spread, bro. They want to remain in power, man. And that just show you, as you brought out, we don't have the power to do these things, man. We don't have the power to go all over the world, man. Putting our images in the Bible and subjugating people, man. We don't have any power. Our power is the Most High and the Son Yahweh Shai.
That's
That's who we
right.
wait.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Where's the wicked, man? They got the power to pass laws, man. And they're steady doing it, man. Behind the scene, people just aren't paying attention to the laws being passed, and those laws are basically to come after this truth, man, to keep this truth from coming out, man, and to
Huh.
demonize the people bringing it out, man.
Right. And to show you that we don't have power, when we think we have power, we don't have power, right? They just took Kanye's money, but he was smart enough to have a clause in his contract,
Huh.
right? But just like I brought out account, Ebony Jet magazine put out a issue, had a black, quote unquote, black Jesus on the cover, and it was such a big stink amongst our own people about it that they had to pull the issue, right? Because
Wow.
this was 1969, the year before we were born, right before I was born, 1969. They put out, Ebony Jet put out that magazine, and they had to pull that issue because the women in the Christian church did not accept it.
Huh.
And that's
And like you
crazy,
said,
man.
man, like how they did Kanye, they did Kyrie the same way, man. And all he did was share the link on one of his social media
Right.
platforms. And they to show you how much power they had. Look how they made him bow down, man. They basically made him bow down in order for him to get back on the basketball court. They said he had to go talk to one of their rabbis. Why he had to go through all that just to get back on the basketball court? But when people disrespect us, they don't have to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? They show you who has the power, man. You know what I'm saying? In order for him to continue playing the game, the sport that he loved to do, you know what I'm saying? The sport that he's doing is providing for his family. You know what I'm saying? He had to bow down to the people in power, man. So-called white man, the wicked of the earth.
There you go.
Man. I mean, you're right, man. I mean, nobody cares about our suffering, man. It's only, if you're Edomite, man, that your suffering is supposed to count, man. Like they bring it, the small adders keep bringing up the so-called, what happened to them over in Germany, man. But as we brought up before, man, from 1895 to I believe 1945, something to that effect, Germany had a black Holocaust. Ain't nobody talking about that because they just expect you.
Right.
They just
We were part of the Holocaust too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And
they just expect us to get over it, man.
But they don't want to bring up. They don't want to bring up World War I when the Germans killed 10 million Africans. That wasn't no Holocaust, right? And I'm not gonna speak about numbers because I don't want to catch this fade from YouTube. But you want to hear about that, you can email us or come out on the street. But yeah, it's a lot more than what you think about when you talk about certain subjects. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
And then when you just brought out that Malachi, you know what I'm saying? That Malachi was going into what? That was him prophesying about the Renaissance era, man. That's why he said, I will return. What they're going into the Renaissance. Renaissance meaning rebirth. What nation of people that, you know what I'm saying, came into power during that time period? The so-called white man, who he's prophesying and calling. He's calling them Edom. And then notice it said the people. It didn't say the doctrine. It said the people who the Lord has indignation with forever. You know what I'm saying? It's not no doctrine, not no allegory. It's a nation, a race of people who the Lord is pissed off with to forever, man. In the nation, righteous anger, righteous judgment. So, hey, shalom, little dear. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We'll get your question at the end of the class, man. We appreciate you, man.
You wanted Genesis 30 what?
No, you go to Genesis chapter 4, starting verse 8. So we're gonna get an account of Cain, because you know what I'm saying, Cain, before Esau was born on the earth, Cain was really the first so-called white man reported on the earth. And Cain, he wasn't born white, he was a melanated people. But the Lord, you know what I'm saying, judged Cain and set a mark upon him. That's when, you know what I'm saying, the mark is the mark of leprosy. Leprosy is not boils on the skin like disease, anything like that. The so-called white man try to make you believe that mark, that leprosy, that's you having your melanin strip. You can read about that when he did it to Miriam. Miriam in Numbers the 12th chapter, when Aaron came and spoke against Moses, he stripped her melanin. So the mark that the Lord said for Cain was the mark of leprosy. Go ahead, up.
Genesis chapter 4, verse started at 8. And Cain
Yeah.
talked with
So
Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
now to give the context of this, it's going into Cain and Abel. You know, Cain and Abel both brought offerings to the Lord. The Lord had respect on Abel's offering. He didn't have respect on Cain's offering. So Cain basically got mad, he got pissed off, he got jealous and envious. So that's what led up to him killing his brother Abel. Now we just going into this account just to get some attributes of Cain to show you how, you know what I'm saying, Cain was rebirthed on the earth as Esau. So you got attributes of Cain, then you're gonna get the characteristics attributes of Esau. And you can see that applies to nobody on no race or nation of people on this earth today, but the so-called white man. So continue on.
And Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be on the earth.
Now,
Interesting thing about verse 12, man. If he couldn't be a farmer, what was it left for him to do?
Come.
You hunt the animals that the Most High hadn't sanctioned for them to eat yet.
Good,
right?
good point. Good point, man.
Right. So
that's a good point.
What were you about to say?
Hey, that's a good point right there, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even think about that, but that's a great point. I was going to look at the attributes or characteristics that apply to Cain. Like I said, the fear, the ground wasn't gonna, you know what I'm saying, bring forth, like the all just brought out. So the ground ain't bring forth, ain't you know what I'm saying, prosper to him. He had to do what he had to be a hunter. And it goes into a fugitive. What's a fugitive, man? A fugitive is somebody that's basically on a run of on the loose. You know what I'm saying? From they committed a crime and on the loose, it hasn't paid for the crime they committed. So had the so-called white man as a nation paid for the, you know what I'm saying, rape, robbery, and murder that they, you know what I'm saying, did throughout the face of the earth today? No, man. So they're a fugitive and they're a vagabond. What's a vagabond? A vagabond is a wanderer, man. Somebody who wanders from place to place without having any home of their own. What did the so-called white man did when he came into power, man? He went about the four corners of the earth wandering, you know what I'm saying, taking, conquering, and you know what I'm saying, enslaving, going to different lands, conquering the indigenous people of those lands, and taking those lands on his own, man. Why? Because he's a vagabond on the earth, man. So those are characteristics that we see applied to the so-called white man today.
And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Now, this right here, just a side note, man. If it just came Adam and Eve, he just killed his brother Abel. So who is he talking about? Everyone that find me shall slay me. Who is he talking about? Ain't number three people on the earth at this time, showing you that there was more people on the earth, man. When the Lord created people, he created multitudes of people, just like he created multitudes of animals. He just created one female dog, one male dog, one female fish, one male fish. The Lord created, when he created life on earth, he created multitudes, man. That's how you know it was more than one, more than Adam and Eve on the earth, you know what I'm saying, during that time, and everybody just came from this Adam and Eve. That's a lie, you know what I'm saying, pushed out throughout the Christian church, man.
God. Verse 15. And Yahweh said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And another sidebar.
Hey, go on into. I already know what you're about to say.
Another sidebar. When our people in this country commit a crime or anything of that nature, we get more time for the same crime, right? As other nations, right? We are the most forgiving people in the world. That boy went in that church and killed them 9 people in that church, and the next Wednesday when he was up in court, them brothers and sisters were talking about, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. That boy said he didn't ask for our forgiveness, and he didn't want our forgiveness. He meant what he did, right? And them people never forget. Every time you see, like, if one of us did something to them, they won't forgive, right? They want you to burn in hell,
Right.
if you do something to them, right? And they don't have any sympathy for anybody but their own, right? Anybody.
Right? And like you say, even when you look at it, man,
go ahead.
like you said, man, we kill our own people, you'll get what, 5 to 10 years. But if you anybody kill the so-called white man, you get thrown under the prison. Hey, man, you ain't gonna never see daylight no more. Except when you come out for, you know what I'm saying, whenever y'all have a break, y'all can go out to the yard. That's why the so-called white man can walk through the hood right now. He can walk through the most dangerous hood.
Nobody mess with
him. He ain't gotta worry about nobody touching him, man. Why, that's spiritual, right? Cause they already know, man, we touch this white man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, we going to prison for life. We ain't gonna never see daylight no more, man. You know what I'm saying? And the so-called black man can be walking through the hood, have number $5 in his pocket. He gonna get checked and possibly lose his life because another black man is checking him because he ain't from that neighborhood or whatever. And you'll kill your own brother, you know what I'm saying, over $5 because you know you'll be right back out in prison in no time, man. But if you lay a finger on that so-called white man, you know you ain't gonna see daylight no more. So that's why I said vengeance to be taken on him sevenfold.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And this
right.
is
Go ahead.
There's a spiritual mark on them people in this nation right now, man. Because we'll fight each other, man, but we don't got the heart to mow them down. We'll fight them, we'll beat them up, but we ain't just out there killing them. They killing each other. And that's another sidebar. I hate to say it, man.
Like, what that mark they put on Cain, he had his melanin strip. That's how everybody knew who Cain was on the earth at that time, because everybody up until prior to this time was melanated people, different shades of brown. So if you see a so-called, somebody who look like the so-called white man on earth, you'll know it. You'll identify this person is, you know what I'm saying, Cain. So we can't mess with him. That's their mark. He had his melanin stripped from him. So
you got and like I said, that's real spiritual too, man. Like I said, we'll kill each other, man, but we thank Christ before we pull the trigger when it's them involved. Right? Except for that brother the other day that shot them 4 FBI officers that ran up on his house in North Carolina. And man.
I'm just gonna bring out this Micah chapter 2, man. Start verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And man, who lays up, man? Esau got all types of think tanks, man. They come up, man, with ways to, get you to introduce foreign liquids into your body, man. You know what I'm saying? In order to depopulate, they come up with all types of ways, man, to introduce laws, man, that are ultimately targeted against keeping this truth from coming out. And then, verse 2 here says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, man. These are all the countries, man, that were colonized by Great Britain, man, through the Edomites, man. So they went around coveting lands and oppressing people in their own land, man. I mean, I was reading an article the other day, man, about not just about France, but about Babylon too, man, having troops in the so-called African continent, man, and I think it was Nigeria, and Nigeria asked them to leave, man, and it's their land, man. You know what I'm saying? But these Caucasians, man, these Edomites act like they got a right to be there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't got to abide by what you say, man. Because the mere fact that they are Caucasian, so they don't gotta listen to nobody. But when you look at the scriptures, man, you look at throughout history, you look and see who went around coveting lands, man. Oppressing a man in his heritage. This is so-called Edomites. It's so-called Caucasians who are the Edomites, man. Who else could it be talking about, bro? It's sure not talking about us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at all these countries that gained their independence, man, from Great Britain, bro. All these territories they went around colonizing, man, all over the globe,
Come,
man. You know what I'm saying?
Shalom, Parzival. I guess you over there in Germany, man. You wildin', man. What does that
come.
mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out myself.
Oh
But
man. Oh man. Genesis chapter. You got anything else you want me to you
now, if
got
you ain't got nothing, you can go to that Genesis 25, start at verse 21. Unless you got something else you want to say or bring out.
nah.
Yeah, so this is what
I
the
jumped
brothers
the
are.
gun on y'all, was a little ahead of you. Yeah, that's all.
So this is what the brothers are going into, you know what I'm saying, is teaching this doctrine. They're going into this chapter right here to try to say this is all allegory. This is not literal. This wasn't physical kids that was being born. This is Isaac having two different doctrines in his mind. And this is what gives me two. They saying these are two different doctrines. Well, the doctrine of Esau is basically the doctrine of wickedness, right? And the doctrine of Jacob is the doctrine of righteousness. So it don't matter what race or nation you come from. It all depends on what doctrine you follow. So any ethnicity can be Esau, any ethnicity can be Jacob. Basically, spiritual Esau and spiritual Jacob. But then they turn around in the same breath and say, okay, the Lord loves Esau now, hates Jacob. Hold on now. Now you contradicting yourself. Because you just said Esau represents a false doctrine, wickedness, and Jacob represents righteousness, but now the Lord loves Esau and hated, and now he hates Jacob. So you saying the
uh,
Lord loves
yeah, I
false
saw
wicked
that. I saw
doctrine?
that. That was wild.
Huh.
Oh,
So it's like, man, all you gotta do sometimes when people going into these doctrines or teaching these classes, just listen to them, man. Just pay attention to what they saying. 'Cause what they saying, you're gonna see makes absolutely no sense, man.
Yeah, it
They
makes
say
no
that was
sense.
just a
yeah,
period of time when the
and
Lord
that's
said he hated Esau, that was just for a period of time that the Lord hated Esau and loved Jacob. Now the Lord is vice versa. Now the Lord loves Esau and hates Jacob.
right,
But
and that's
Esau is a doctrine though, a false, wicked
yeah,
doctrine. So man, make that make sense, man.
right, and, yeah,
That whole thing, man, don't make sense, man, about the Most High now hating Jacob and loving Esau, man. You go to
Huh,
Malachi 3:6. It says, "For I am the Lord; I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed." In other words, He didn't destroy us, man. So the Most High
huh,
don't change. So He's not
right,
gonna, say He loved Jacob, man. All of a sudden, no, I ain't mean that. Now I love Esau. You know what I'm saying?
huh,
So that doctrine right there, man, is as I said earlier, man. The Most High is taking the spirit away from these brothers, man. He coming out with some false doctrine like that, man. The Most
huh,
High is
yeah,
not a man that he should lie,
hey,
bro. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely not double minded. So when he said he hated Esau, that's exactly what he means. He hates
huh,
Esau. That never changed, man. He loved Jacob. And it's like what we were going to yesterday, Gideon. How come when you go to the Book of Revelations, man, and they list the names of the 12 patriarchs on it that's going to be on the gates in our kingdom, man? How come that's not replaced with the dukes and Esau, man? How come they names not going to be there?
huh.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High never stopped loving Jacob, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
He turned his back on us for a period, man, because we were in the wickedness, that broke the covenant, man. But the Bible says he's gonna choose. He's gonna have mercy on Jacob, bro.
Huh,
So
right,
the whole
and,
doctrine, man,
and
that's just
like
bugged
we
out, bro.
said, if you disagree, man, you got to have a sound, reasonable, biblical argument and present it, man. And that's why we're not a part of the modern day Christian church now, man, because your arguments aren't sound and they don't have reason,
huh.
right? And we can read now. Yeah,
Right.
we're not just listening to the pastor give us our doctrine, right? We took our emotions out of it,
Con,
right? We put that book down. We forgot what we knew. We started over, right? We
con,
were born again in this. So and that's the thing, man. We've already been in the Christian churches. We know what you guys teach. We know what you're gonna say, right? Now it's a problem. The problem is you don't want to listen to us to listen. You want to listen to us to rebut and argue,
Huh,
right?
con,
But like I say, if you don't have to agree with what we said. Just hear us out. And if you disagree, come with a sound argument and we'll have a discussion about it.
that's
Right?
right.
Genesis 25 and 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived, just like Mary conceived, just like Elizabeth conceived. Right? Because right here it don't say Isaac slept with Rebekah.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the Holy Spirit got Rebecca
The
pregnant
Holy
too.
Spirit got Rebekah pregnant
Hey,
too, right?
the Holy Spirit got children everywhere, man. He going around slinging them, man.
Paul said that Isaac was born of the Spirit, right? So, anyway, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Right there, man. We was already struggling with the so-called white man today. You know what I'm saying? They was already struggling in the womb before they was even born. They was already fighting and struggling with each other. And who are the two main nations of people you see on the earth today still got that struggle, man? Because it goes all the way back to when we was in the room. Because Esau is our twin brother, man. We've been struggling and fighting against them all the way back then, just like we struggling and fighting against them to this day, man. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they're oppressing us to this day. Same, it's the same, man. These are the Lord, this is the Lord moving we in. And the two main character nations of people that's playing the two main roles on this earth today are Jacob and Esau, man. And who are the two main races today that's always, you know what I'm saying, fighting against each other? So-called black Spanish and Native Americans and the so-called white man. Go ahead up.
Con, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. So he was already built to live in the mountains, man. So and after
I think you skipped verse 23, huh?
Oh, come. I go back. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Right. So it said 2 manner of people, not 2 manner of doctrines, right? And it said what? It said it said the one people should be stronger than the other, man. We can look at the physical point of view, man. Naturally, we're stronger than the so-called white man. We better than them in everything. We look at sports, man. We run faster than them. We jump higher than them. You know what I'm saying? They got to get to take all these steroids in order to be able to keep up with our people to this day. We're stronger than them, not only physically, but mentally, you know what I'm saying, and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? You look at our people doing when we was enslaved, when they had us in chains, man, we were still able to come up and, you know what I'm saying, create all these different inventions, man. Because we're mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger than the so-called white man. That's just a fact, man. Science will tell you that, man. Go ahead. And it said the elder should serve the younger. Why? Because the so-called white man came out first. So it already prophesied that he was going to serve us. He was going to be our servant, man. All of these nations on earth today, that's their whole point of being in existence, man. To serve us, to serve God's chosen people, man. They're all going to be serving, not just the so-called white man, but the so-called Chinese man, so-called Africans, the Arabs. All of them are going to serve us in the kingdom, man.
Come. Second Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Come.
Right. So that was just what the Ark was saying. Now that's an end time prophecy being played out in Genesis, and is reiterated by Ezra. Right.
Right. That also let you know who is going to be the last power on earth before the kingdom of heaven is established, man. Who's ruling the world right now? The Arabs are not ruling. You know what I'm saying? The Chinese are not ruling. Who's ruling over all nations right now? The so-called white man. So the so-called white man is ruling on earth now. Unless you say we're going into another captivity, that would only have to, you know what I'm saying, mean that he is Esau, man. So,
and that's going back to that Job 9 and 24 too, man, with the earth being given into the hand of the wicked, man. The Edomites are ruling right now, man. As you said, the Edomites were prophesied to be ruling in the last days before Yahweh shall return, man. And when he returned, we got next. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, as you said, it's not the
And
Arabs. It's
and
not.
and
It's not the
and that's the
Hamites.
other thing. That's the other thing what you just said. Like we got next, right? Every other nation
Yeah.
got to rule, but when if we say we go get our chance to rule, then it's a problem. Every other nation, the Babylon, the Egyptians, the ancient Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Neo-Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks, the Romans, the Greco-Roman period. Everybody got a chance to rule the earth. But when we say we got next, we're gonna be the next ruler on the earth. Racist, and everybody got a problem.
Now it's a problem, man.
Now it's a problem. And we ain't even
You know
saying
what,
we're
man?
gonna be doing the stuff y'all did to us. We're gonna rule in righteousness. And y'all still got a problem, right?
Still got a problem.
And here's the thing too, man, is when we ruling, man, like you got all these wars going on earth, man. Wars and rumors of wars, bro. You know what I'm saying? When we're ruling, ain't gonna be no more wars, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no more of that, man. The whole world is gonna be at rest, man. Everybody's gonna be. I mean, the nation's gonna be, serving hardcore bondage. But after 1,000 years, other nations, man, are gonna be allowed to go back to their land and reestablish. Esau is gonna be completely destroyed, but we're gonna be ruling in righteousness, man. It ain't gonna be none of this nonsense,
That
man.
1,000 years, man. Y'all got to do that. There ain't no way. And all you nations, man, y'all got to do them 1,000, man.
Right.
Then you get to go back to your land. But when you go back to your land, you still gotta follow our law because it's gonna be one king of the earth. You're just gonna be a city state, right? In the kingdom. Right? It's gonna be the Lord. The kingdom is the Lord, man. You just gonna be a vessel.
Right.
You're gonna bring tribute, you're gonna come to the Feast of Tabernacles, and you're gonna serve our God in righteousness.
Man. I mean, the same
Bring out
thing they
that
got us.
Proverbs 29, verse 2, man.
We got to pay taxes here, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay tribute. They taught us these false religions, man. So we're going to teach them the righteous ways, man. The laws of the Most High. And they're going to keep those nations. They're going to keep those, man. They're going to keep our feast days, man. The same as what they did to us in captivity, bro. But it's going to be doing the righteousness, man. We're not going to be bug breaking nobody, going around raping nobody's wives and none of that crap, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they did to us. So it's like, why wouldn't you want a righteous people to rule over you, man? I'm talking about our people, man. Why wouldn't our people want to rule, man? But it's like they can't fathom being the top nation on the face of the earth, man. They want to be equal to everybody, man. Most High didn't make us to be equal to everybody, man. He made us to be above all these other nations, bro. It's just the fact that we're on the bottom now, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, because we discontinued from the covenant. We broke the Most High's laws. But we got next, man. It don't matter if our people believe it. Don't matter if the Edomites believe it. We got next, man. So that's coming. Moab, the so-called Chinese, man. They can try if they must, man. But they're not. They don't got next, man. I know they think they do, but they don't got next.
Bringing that out.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Right. So the Lord is getting ready to establish the righteous back up in authority, man. He's getting ready to give the earth back into the hand of the righteous under his son, Mashiach Yahweh. But it said when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And you seeing everybody mourning now, man. Like you seeing those fake Palestinians, fake Philistines over there mourning, man. You know, all nations on the earth are in mourning right now. Why? Because the wicked is ruling over the nation, man. And the wicked being the so-called white man whose biblical name is Esau, Edom. But like you just brought out too in that second Ezra, you're gonna notice every time the Lord speaks of end time judgment or end time prophecy, he always you can most of all the time gonna see Edom mentioned within that. So bring out that Lamentation 4 verse 22. So you gotta ask yourself, why would the Lord always saying that he's gonna bring judgment and speaking of end time prophecy? Edom name is always mentioned, man. Why? Because Edom was going to be that last ruling nation or kingdom on earth before the kingdom of heaven get ushered in, man.
Lamentations 4 and 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Right, man. So it's showing you right there, man. When the Lord lift these curses off Jacob, who is the so-called black Spanish and Native American, now it's going to be time for Esau to get those curses and drink that cup of the wrath, that wrath that the Lord is going to bring on them. Why? Why? Because they're the last ruling nation on earth before the Lord comes back and establishes His kingdom. Man. Got it. Damn, what's going on? So we can go back to that Genesis 25.
Genesis 25 and 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy goat.
Right.
He called his name Esau.
And it said the first came out red. What nation of people are red on this earth today, man? What we down south? We from the south. We from Alabama. What we call so-called the white man down here in Alabama, man? We call them what red
Redneck,
niggas, man. Not only they stay out in the
redneck,
sun a long time, they whole body get red. They smile. You slap them upside the head, man. His whole he gonna turn red, man. Why? Cause they blood so forth through their skin, man. Cause they have a lack of melanin, just like this image you see right here. First, that's Esau, Edom, right there, man, in the flesh, man. Showing this is talking about a nation of people. These are giving the characteristics of who Esau, Edom is today, man. And it applies to who? The so-called white man. This is not referring to a doctrine, man. It's referring to a nation of people. So,
come, man. And as you brought up, man, one nation on earth that fit that description there. Everybody else got melanin, man. You know what I'm saying?
come,
So it's clear to see who Esau is, man. You're looking at it right here, man.
that's
He's
right.
on the sun. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but just going back what you brought up, man, with in the last scripture, man. Zechariah 2:7 says, "Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon." You know, so who's
Yeah,
dwelling
I
with the
had
daughter of
that too.
Babylon? Man? Oh, you got
Come.
it.
Yeah, I
My
had it,
bad.
but you good, huh?
Who's dwelling with the daughter of Babylon, man? Who's this talking to, man? It's talking about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because we here in spiritual Babylon, man, dwelling with the
Come.
Edomites, man. And the Most High can really judge this place, man, for the wickedness that is done, that is spread throughout the earth, and that was done to the Lord's people over here, man.
Come. So bring
So
out
that
that. So you want bring out that Psalm 137 verse 7 to prove that the daughter of Babylon is referring to Esau, Edom. Man. Psalm 137 started at verse 7.
I got y'all.
Because people might say, well, how y'all know Edom is the one ruling the daughter of Babylon? That's why you go precept upon precept. Through that precept, I get understanding, man. So this is how we know who the
Come.
daughter of Babylon, who ruling the daughter of Babylon in this verse right here. Psalm 137 started verse 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Right. So
O
in that history right there, that was referring to when the Edomites came in there with the Babylonians and helped destroy our temple, destroyed our land, burnt down our temple. That's why he said, remember, remember, Lord, the daughter of Edom, man, who said, raise it. They came in there with the Babylonians to help destroy our temple and our land.
Come, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to
Who
be
is Edom?
destroyed.
Oh, what? Who is Edom?
O daughter of Babylon, O
Uh,
daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. That's
uh,
exactly what they were doing to our people, man. Our women,
right.
man. Cutting the baby out of our pregnant woman's stomach, man,
Uh,
and smashing their heads against the stone, man. Who did that, bro? They still got pictures of that, man. There ain't but one nation of people that did that, bro. The Edomites. So-called
uh,
Caucasian, man. So as they've done, man, I mean, the same's gonna be done to them, man.
right. They were doing it all the way back during the Renaissance era. Like you said, when they started coming back into power, man, you can read throughout different history books, man, it'll show you when we were dwelling in places like Russia, Britain, Ireland, because we was dwelling in all those places. When the so-called white man came back into power and started going into those different places, conquering those land, they was, you know what I'm saying, taking our kids, dashing them in the stones, man, and things of that nature,
Come
man.
on, man.
They was, feeding our kids to alligators, man. Where y'all think the name where they get the term
Gator
alligator
bait.
gator bait from, man? They used to use our kids to draw in alligators and stuff to be able to get the skin off the alligators and things of that nature. These are the things that these people was doing to our people, man. That they don't teach these things in the school, man, because they don't want to show their weakness. I think they even going as far as taking slavery out, showing slavery in the school in the history books. They don't even want to teach that no more, man. 'Cause they don't want you to know the type of things that they did when they came into power on the earth, man.
Calm, man. I'll put his image up so they can know that what you're saying is true. I mean, it's all on the internet, man. Here, let me see.
Come, bring out that
Showing the
Michael
music
chapter
out here.
4, verse 10 too.
Micah chapter 4, verse 10. So,
Just to further show, you know what I'm saying, this place we in, America is Babylon. Michael 4 and 10 gonna prove that too.
this is the book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. But now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, and there shalt thou be delivered.
Like we
There
said,
the
we broke
Lord.
this down. We broke it down in other class, you know what I'm saying? We went out of the city, you know what I'm saying? We was pushed out of the land in 70 AD. We went into the field, which is, you know what I'm saying, Africa. From there, we went into Babylon, and it said there we should be delivered. Showing this can't be talking about ancient Babylon, because we was not delivered from ancient Babylon. You know what I'm saying? So this has to be a future Babylon it's talking about. Because in ancient Babylon, we just went from one captain, one slave master, and then when the Persian and Medes came into power, went from one slave master to another slave master. So we wasn't delivered from that Babylon. But this one right here says this Babylon, we're gonna be delivered. That's speaking about what? Speaking about the future Babylon, which is America, man. This is where the Lord chosen people, the bulk of the Lord chosen people are gonna be at in the last days, and this is where He's gonna come back to deliver from.
Come. There shalt thou be delivered. There the
Come.
Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
Right, man. That's what salvation is, man. Salvation is being delivered, saved from the hand of your enemies, man. Who are our enemies? The other nations. The number one enemy is Edom, the so-called white man.
Come, man.
Go back
They
to
can,
that
they
Genesis.
can, they can reference back to Psalms 83, man. It lists out the nations who are the Most High's enemies, who are our enemies, man.
Come,
Yeah,
come,
that's what you said, man. Nowhere in that chapter does it in that chapter doesn't mention the spiritual demon Satan neither, man. It's talking about these other nations that we're gonna be delivered
come.
from, bro. The ones that hate us, man.
That's right.
Which is all basically all these nations, man, on earth.
Genesis 25 and 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Come.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Break
And
down. Break that down. Break that down.
the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Right? So right here we see Jacob was plain, and a plain man, he'd like to dwell in tents. Esau was a cunning hunter. If you bring that to modern day, man, as a people in general, you know, our people are more laid back and chill. We don't, you know, we like to do things, man, but all that hunting and killing, man, just killing, we don't do that to nature. We do that to each other because we hate each other, but we don't do that to nature, right? We don't do that. We're not avid hunters. I mean, even when we were in slavery, during the days of slavery, it was illegal for so-called blacks and so-called Indians to have a gun in the first place, just because of the nature of the environment at the time. But they go out, they hunt lions, they hunt big game hunters, that's a sport to them, right? On the other hand, you go over there, man, you see our people up there petting lions and being one with nature. They got to go out there and they kill, right? Because his blessing, he was a cunning hunter and he was blessed with the sword. But Jacob was a plain man. Folks like to chill, man. Ain't nothing like sitting at home watching the game with your boys, just get a gathering, man. It's in a sense, it's in our spirit to have a gathering with the brothers, but to what extent, man? Because that's when the fights break out. Like, we love to gather at the club, but then when we get there, it goes left because we gonna hate each other. Our eyes evil toward our brother. Our spirit tells us to gather together, right? But what's the point of gathering with you if we don't have love for each other, right? Every nation lives by a code. When we were in hard bondage under these people, they took our code from us. We don't have a code. They flipped our code. We got more coons than code keepers, right? Now, that's what we tell y'all. Now's the time, man, to start teaching our sons to love. We go to school, man. Don't fight your brother. Love. Got to teach our kids that. So when they grow up, they'll have that spirit on to love, right? Esau, on the other hand, because they try to say everybody was under the curses, right? Everybody did this. Well, there was no other nation that went into captivity as a nation of people to whole another nation of people, right? The Irish say y'all was indentured service, first of all, and y'all came over to America on them boats. Y'all did your 7 years, and they let you go. But the first time that 7 years was up, they rescinded the contract on the people of color. They let them people go. In fact, Bacon's Rebellion is why they had, after Bacon's Rebellion was the first time the word white into the law. After Bacon's Rebellion was when they actually had to make a divide between black and white. So you know what they did? They said the quote unquote black people and even the natives ended up as victims in captivity, right? But that 7 years, man, they let them go and they paid them, and that's how you supposed to do, man. You supposed to, indentured servitude is biblical. You do your 7 years, and that person, while you work for them, they take care of you. And when you leave, they pay you, so you can go out and start your own. Right? And that's what these guys was doing. Right? Most of them was working to pay off that boat ride. Right? But they don't tell you about these American your forefathers. Most of them was kicked out of the land. They was kicked out of England, kicked out of France, kicked out of these places because they was criminals, and they wanted to get the criminal element out of their land. So that's how a lot of y'all ended up over here. Right? Because what y'all is, like I said, there's a thing called projection, and this is how they operate. Your innermost thoughts and desires and your innermost wickedness that you dream about amongst yourselves, you project that on our people, and then you know you evil, but you want to project that evil image on our people. So you got the media, everything that depicts our people looks like it's evil, right? That's why the use of the term black, right? Even the movie Black Panther came out, people was mad because they thought they was after the Black Panther political party.
Right.
Like that word, it chafes the spirit of Esau. That's why they call us Black Hebrew Israelites. We're not black, black. So, well, in your eyes, because you Esau, we're black, because to you we are low, dirty, yada 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 yada. But the people of color taught you people how to bathe in Europe when y'all was in Europe.
Right.
Taught you how to take care of yourselves. Taught you how to take and we know y'all the same people because even y'all movie stars don't take a bath. They don't wash their kids properly, right? And they bragging about it now. I saw a video the dude said, if you use a washcloth, you poor. Right? They don't them cats get in the shower, they don't wash below their knees, man. They nasty. Right? So yeah, the spirit is, man, he's a cunning hunter, man. Came out hairy. He came out all over like a hairy garment. They live in the caves and the mountains. They hunt. Just like I said earlier, that's that spirit Cain that was put on Cain because the earth wouldn't yield its fruit to him.
So he had to be a hunter.
Right? And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. Right? Now Isaac didn't give Esau no uncooked meat. But when you go up in the mountains of Seir and you take over the cave people, guess what you end up doing? When you assimilate with cave people, you start eating raw meat. And to this day, man, I used to work in a restaurant. I cooked in the restaurant. They come in there and they be like, give it to me Pittsburgh style, which is a minute on each side, man. And the meat still be breathing when you put it on their plate, right? Right. Now, our people, for the most part, like ours, medium well or well done. For the most part. But Esau, he like his medium and medium rare and rare.
Right. If you can't see who these characteristics fit, what nation of people fit these characteristics today, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. Let's get Genesis 27, verse 38. Now let's go into the blessing that Esau got, the so-called white man. Genesis 27, verse 38.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said,
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau wept, and Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Now we see who's living in all the best places today, man. Who has all the best land, man? The so-called white man. That was one of the blessings that he got. That he was gonna have the fatness of the earth.
And they colonized it with the sword, right?
Exactly. Get into the next blessing in the next verse.
And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
That is so-called white man. His blessing gonna be what? The sword. Sword today it represents what? His weapons, man. You know what I'm saying? Who has more greater weapons than the so-called white man? When they dropped that atomic bomb on Japan, man, that was something the world ain't never seen done before, man. That's why these nations ain't have to do, couldn't do nothing but bow down to this man. Why? Because his blessing was the sword. There was nothing they can do, man. Because that was the blessing that the Lord, you know what I'm saying, gave to Esau, Edom, man. And we see that on the so-called white man today. Let's get Joel chapter 3. Because y'all brother got something y'all want to bring out. Joel chapter 3, and then we're gonna get Amos 1, verse 9. Gotta get Joel chapter 3, read to verse 6.
You got that one, Kazak? Joel?
Joel 3. Top.
Yeah, you start at the top.
For behold, in those days And in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
So who scattered us among the nation, man? All nations scattered us amongst the nation. When was our last scattering? During the transatlantic slave trade, man. And the Lord said He's gathering all these nations and bringing them down to what the valley of Jehoshaphat means. That word in Hebrew, Yehoshaphat, means, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh's decision or Yahweh's judgment. That's what the
Come
Lord
on.
is getting ready to bring all these nations up to get ready to judge them and plead with them. He's not gonna ask them why they did it. He's gonna plead with them by putting them to death, man. That's the plea the Lord is
Come,
coming back to do. The Lord is not coming back to talk to these other nations, man. He's coming back to bring judgment on these other nations for the oppressive things, and you know what I'm saying, the atrocities they done did to His people, man. And it said they parted His land, meaning what? They divided that land. That land. That's why it's war there in the land now, because that land is divided between two nations of people that ain't supposed to be there, man. Was it the
God.
small heads and those arrows, man? That's how they parted their land, man. So go ahead.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they
Right, man.
might.
So they cast lots for us, man. That's what them having us on them auction slave blocks, man. You know what I'm saying? That's when they was bidding on it, and they said they giving a boy for a harlot. Why, man? Because they used to use our men to breed, man. They used to have things called sex farms, but they used to use our men to breed with different women to bring forth more slaves. And they said giving a girl to as a harlot, man. They used to, you know what I'm saying, how these parties Esau did, and they used to bring our women in there, man, and have orgies with them, wearing trains on them, man. These are the things that the so-called white man was doing to our people, man. Go ahead.
and you
Go
saw
ahead.
that with the birth of a nation too, man.
Come,
With
come.
Gabrielle Union. Remember they brought
Gabrielle
her out?
Union, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
come, man.
Not,
All
not,
these
not,
slave
not
movies, man.
1920s birth of a nation. We talking
Come.
about, yeah.
The
Yeah,
one about what the name was?
I
Nat Turner,
forgot.
man. That's what we talking about.
yeah, yeah. And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
So this is the Lord getting on Tyre and Zidon, man. Who are Tyre, Zidon, coast of Palestine? These were Hamitic nations, man, who you would consider so-called Africans today. So go ahead.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
Right. So who did these so-called Africans sell us to? Because everybody like to say, man, those were Africans selling their own people. No, it was not Africans selling their own people, man. It was so-called Africans selling God's chosen people to Israelites, because they knew who we were. Even though we were dwelling in Africa, they knew who we were because of our customs, and we dwell separately from those Hamites over there, man. That's why when you look at that map, 1747 map of West Coast of Africa, man, they got Kingdom of Judah. You know what I'm saying? Kingdom of Ashanti, because the Ashanti goes back to the Levites, man. So they knew who we were because of our customs and the way we carried ourselves. They knew we was not the same people, man. But they got us, they captured us, and they sold us to the Greeks and the so-called white man, right? Who is Edom, man. They sold us for different resources, gunpowder, and different things of that nature, man. Silver, gold. They sold us to the so-called white man, and he removed us and scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth. But notice in verse 6 it say, have you sold to the Grecians? Now Amos is seeing the same vision, prophesying the same prophecy, but he's not gonna call them the Grecians, he's gonna call them Edom. So bring that out. Amos 1 verse 9.
Amos 1 and
Come.
9. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant.
Right, man. So Amos is calling them Edom, man. Those Grecians that came into power when they first came into power under Alexander The Greek. That's when the Grecians first came into power, man. Everybody know Alexander the Greek was a so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? And so right here, Amos is calling these Grecians that came into power that we were sold to. He's calling them Edom. Letting you know right there, man, that Edom is the so-called white man. The brother got the map right there. You can zoom in a little bit out. Y'all
Yes,
brothers
sir.
got something y'all want to bring out, man. Y'all gonna bring it out.
They knew. Just get back to what you said earlier, man, about them knowing who was on the coast of Africa and the West Coast. The Portuguese Jews were run out of Spain and Portugal, and they were exiled to the coast of West Africa. They went through Morocco, Mauritania. They went all in that region, right there on the map. If you've got the Niger River, all up along the Niger River, up and down east and west where the Niger River flows, we got documents that show that there was hundreds of towns along the Niger River that was Jews, right? In fact, parts of Dahomey was called the Kingdom of Judah. It's called Benin today, right? And all those Jewish settlements that were back then, they just disappeared from the face of the earth. What happened to them people? Right? Because the Inquisition was in the 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. The Spanish and Portuguese was persecuting the Jews in the Spanish Inquisition. The Jews disappeared, and they were all along the west coast of Africa. Well, you come down to 1860, ain't no more. What happened to all them Jews in 200 years? What happened to all them Jews that was on the west coast of Africa? They just disappeared. Right? And now today, and this is another point I brought out. During our lifetime, and during our parents' lifetime, and during our grandparents' lifetime, the culture has been that those people that's in the land today are known as Jews, right? But this book right here, Who is Esau, Edom? It'll tell you that the people didn't come together and call themselves Jews as a nation of people till 1860, right? Before 1860, in America, and everybody in the whole wide world had an idea of what a Jew looked like, and he looked like a so-called black person, right? The guy that book Nature Knows No Color Line says a Portuguese and a Jew was the epitome of the Negro. That was the Negro, a Portuguese Jew, right? But now you get all these people exiled into West Africa, and they mix with these West Africans, right? When the English get there, they ain't gonna know who's Jew and who's not. The Portuguese knew, because them Portuguese was Portuguese settlements up and down the Nile. And the Portuguese had the first deals during the slave trade, right? But they ended up in Brazil, all in Brazil. But when America and the other countries raided the west coast of Africa, they didn't know the difference between what a Jew was and what an African was. So yeah, they said Africans sold Africans, but all the Jews disappeared. Right?
I'll bring out Ezekiel 36, verse 5.
36, This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus said the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
Right, man. So as we brought out earlier, because I brought out earlier, man, Idumea is just a Greek term for saying Edom, man. So it's letting you know right now that those people that got that appointed, I mean, they took the Lord's land to their possession, are Edomites. Now that particular group of Edomites over there today, the seeing from Esau's grandson Amalek, but all so-called white people come from the nation of Esau, Edom, man. You know what I'm saying? That further proves that the so-called white man is the biblical Esau, Edomites, man.
Calm, man. And that's that book that Kazak, that's the cover of that book you just held up, Kazak. It was Esau, Edom. So it's right there, man. It's showing that they even know themselves, man, that they Esau. You know what I'm saying?
Bring out Isaiah 34, start at verse 2 to 5.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the
Man, they go
mountains
to
shall
show
be
you too,
melted.
man, because you know Christians like to say that God is all love, man. That's what they say. God is all
Right.
love. God comes back, you know what I'm saying? He's just gonna love everybody and rain flowers and kiss little babies and hold hand with a sodomites and all that. No, man, the Lord said He's coming back to bring indignation and judgment upon all nations, armies, man, including America, man. A lot of people feel like America is just this righteous, God-fearing country they're just going to continue to rule forever, man. But the Lord said He's bringing indignation upon all their armies, man, including the American army. He's going to destroy them, man. And He got to do that for what? To deliver His people. If He doesn't destroy these nations, man, we're going to forever be in captivity. But go ahead.
Come. Verse 3. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll,
That
and all
mushroom
their hosts
cloud, man. They're
gone,
being rolled
gone.
together as a scroll that's going into that mushroom cloud that happens after atomic bomb or nuclear missile, man. It looks like a scroll being unfolded or rolled together, unrolled in the skies, man. That's what it's talking about. The heaven should be rolled together as a scroll, man. Nuclear war is coming. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from a fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Right, man. So again, you see end time judgment and Edom always being put in the same sentence with each other. Why? Because Esau, Edom is the Lord's number one enemy. He's the number one enemy of His people, and he's going to be the last ruling nation on earth before the Lord establishes His kingdom, man. And that's that war in heaven that the scriptures is talking about, man. The war in heaven is not
Con,
referring to God and the devil got into a fist fight and they were boxing in heaven, man. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the war that's going to be fought in heaven, man. The Lord is bringing nuclear thermal destruction to this place, man. And He's bringing His chariots, man. The angels, man, they're going to be fighting against these other nations' military, man. Against their air force, against their army, against their navy, man. The Lord has sent His own army to fight for the deliverance of His people. So,
con, man.
let y'all go ahead.
No,
Let
I just
y'all
say
brothers
con,
got
man.
something else to bring out, man. Something else to say.
And just like you said, man, like we were going into earlier, man, with regards to the Most High sent His own army to fight for His people, man. We go to Isaiah chapter 60, honestly,
I get it.
uh, start at verse 8, man.
It's Isaiah 60
So,
verse 8.
yeah, come. And this is how we're gonna be brought back into the land, man, like we were doing in the last class. We're gonna be delivered, man, by those chariots, man. That's why people,
Right.
man, during captivity, man. And remember, we couldn't read and write, man, as Kazak brought out, man, back during slavery time, man. But we
Uh,
always had those so-called Negro spirituals, man. Swing low, sweet chariots coming forth to carry us home, man. That's because our people knew who they were, man. And this is going into it. Get to Isaiah 60 and verse 8 up.
is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows?
Come, man. So when the Bible's making reference to these clouds, they ain't talking about them white fluffy clouds out there, man. It's
Con.
making reference to the chariots, man. What people call so-called UFOs or UAPs, man. Go ahead up.
Verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified thee.
Con, man. So the Most High is gonna send Yahweh Shah back. Yahweh Shah, when he returned, man, he gonna send them chariots for, and they gonna, so to speak, beam us up, man.
Con.
And they're gonna take us back to the land, man, in those so-called chariots, man. That's why
That's right.
the prophet Isaiah is bringing out who are these that fly as a cloud, as a dove to their window, going back home, man. So these
Con.
chariots are gonna bring us back home, man, to the so-called land of Israel. So those 48ers, man, how did they get there? You know what
Con.
I'm saying? How did they get there? They sure didn't get there, man, by so-called chariots. The Most High hadn't sent Yahweh Shah back. So how is that fulfillment of prophecy, man? Those are
Right.
those are descendants of Esau, man, Amalekites. You know what I'm
Con.
saying? So that's who they are, man. So the Bible is clear, man. So and plus, man, when we get back in the land, ain't gonna be no more wars, man. We said it earlier, man. The whole world's gonna
That's
be at
right.
rest, man. Ain't been nothing but wars since they got over there in 1948, man. So they are
Con.
not the people. No matter how much they try to, silence the truth, man. The truth is the truth, no matter who likes it or not, man. You can
Con.
only you're only gonna be able to do so much in stopping the truth from coming out, man. But you ain't gonna be able to stop the Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
And why
this
had they
word
been
is
at war
what it
ever since
is,
they
man.
got over there in that land, man? Like you going into, cause they fit the prophecy of Amalek, because the Lord said he was gonna have
Amalek,
war
man.
with Amalek from generation to generation.
Generation to
So they
generation.
showing you they
Generation.
fit
Come,
that prophecy right there.
Con,
come, man.
con.
Yeah. Then the second president of Egypt, what did he say, man? Why they wasn't gonna be accepted in that land, man? Because when they left, they were black and came back white. You know what I'm saying?
Come, come,
And then we went into a class a couple of Sabbaths ago, man, breaking down the so-called tribe of the Judeans, man, who were the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levites, man, and what color they were, man. So you're only gonna be able to stop the truth from coming out so much, man. But the 48ers in the land do not fit the prophecy for the people of the book, man. And they know that, man.
come.
That's why they just want
Man,
to hold on to that land, hold on to that power, man.
come. Man, what the brother right here talking about, man? Drunk tonight. Shit.
Uh, yeah,
I don't know, man.
bruh.
I wouldn't
I
even
hope
bring that up, man. Or
Come,
if you
I
Israel,
wouldn't even
bro,
be bringing it up.
you out of order, brother.
come.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Revelation
be, bro.
18, going
I'll
back to
bring it out.
Revelation 18, 1 through 3. 1,
Come,
2,
I
and
get
3.
it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, in the hold of every foul spirit, and in caves of every clean, unclean, and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the
Con,
earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy.
So this we say Babylon, we relate that back to the end time prophecy of Edom, with pairing it up with Edom. That
Come,
this is the Revelation 11 and 8 says that this is spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. And we
come,
know this land Egypt was the hard bondage and slavery, and Sodom is evident looking around today. If you look at them Wade boys,
come,
Dwayne, and all that. So, but this land has to be destroyed because it has become a habitation of devils. And y'all hate God's law. Y'all don't want to keep God's law. We try to tell y'all that these people are wicked, yet y'all just want to follow them because you're comfortable, right? You don't want to upset the apple cart. You scared. You got some kind of excuse. But this is modern day Babylon, and it's run by modern day Edom. And because the scriptures say that like America's a melting pot, and just like Egypt, where they say Egypt was a fiery furnace, right? This is all it's been for our people, man. It's been a fiery furnace, but y'all call it a melting pot. Because I got all these nations in here, and we was on the bottom, another nation in, and they usurp our place, and we still on the bottom. Then you bring another nation in, and you fit them in there somewhere, and you just keep us on the bottom, right? And then you use us against us. So this land got to be destroyed. And like I said, man, if these people are not the Edomites, man, that means we got to go through another captivity.
Another captivity, dog.
But you can't think of a place, right, that's more wicked, and it's the habitation of every strange bird. We got everything over here. Like, just walk out your house in the day, it's a sin. It's almost a sin just to go outside. Run up on something crazy, something unlawful. They sneak poking everything, or crab. They sneak unlawful, but that's a punishment from the Most High, because He said we was gonna eat our bread defiled among the nations. That's what we doing, man. So you see the brothers and sisters up in the grocery store reading the ingredients on the back of everything, because they're trying to do diligence. They trying to do diligence to serve God. But even that ain't going up all the time, because
I was just about to say, man. Hey, man, bro. I was just about to say that. Yeah, we'll be able to eat nothing. We really knew, you know what I'm saying, all this unclean stuff and all these foods we eat, man. We wouldn't be able to eat nothing, man. Like I was saying, Esau put unclean foods in everything, man. So long as you ain't just willfully eating these unclean things, man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never know.
So, cause now we can't tell them that. We got to tell these Christians they need to read the box, because God know their heart. Right.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's like y'all don't know the meaning of anything. Y'all change the definition of words in the scripture. Y'all conflate, and then y'all project all that stuff onto the Israelites and say we doing it. Right? But we grew up in the Christian church. We know the doctrine of the Christian church. Y'all just don't want to change. Right? Y'all hate the laws of the Lord. Right? But this Esau thing, man, like I could care less who y'all believe Esau is, because like I said before, all the nations got to go into captivity, right? The only difference between Esau and the rest of the nations is Esau ain't gonna have no land to go back to, because Esau ain't gonna be around to go back to no land, right? Because if the Most High promised Abraham, Isaac and Jacob the land between the Nile and the Euphrates, and as far as I can see, that's gonna be Mount Seir too. So that's gonna end up being, part of the promise anyway. Right? So like I said, man, we gonna get into some books later on, man, because I got this one here, Facts Are Facts, right? And see it where the prophet Gad actually told David that Esau was in Rome. Right? And Gad was the prophet to David, the king, right? So if Esau was in Rome, in Chittim, in the land of Chittim, during the time of King David, right? Because Edomites wasn't just no one big tribe. They had tribes just like Israel had tribes.
Just like we had tribes.
Don't get it twisted. So you had Esau had tribes too. So when we say Esau is the white man, you got to keep in mind it's tribes, right? Because I believe, and this just me, I believe that Taman over there in the Middle East, I believe them was Edomites at one point in time. Because he got a son by that name. Right? But that's just me. That ain't near here nor there. So
And Lil D, if you still tuned in, man, you still got your question you want to ask, man, feel free. You still watching.
the Yemenites. That's who they are, the Yemenites. Like them that's Esau. Lil D said he had a question. I guess it got too late for Lil D.
Yeah. Hope he's still watching, man.
Who was that clown from Germany?
I don't know, man. Somebody he drunk. Somebody shaved his head or something. I don't know, man.
I hope he didn't do it himself. That's what I was like. Boy, you way out of bounds with that.
I'm drunk. I'm so drunk tonight. I'll shave my buzz cut clean with foam and a razor forever if a woman comes in and smokes a cigarette.
Yeah, he just trolling, man. That's all. He just trolling.
Lil D, we're gonna try to wait for you, man. Type your question if you still viewing. So you just want to go into some of them books, man, that Esau Edom, man, just read a couple of things out there, man. You got highlighted.
I guess something here. Is this the one? Yeah, okay. Page, this is in the appendix. It's got a little short write-ups in it. So it says on page 41, the Edomite element, for all we know, be a minority among the Ashkenazim, among whom we must also allow for the existence of a proportion as indicated by anthropological and historical data generally of people who might claim descent from Judah. Ashkenazi Jewry is thus comprised of three elements of not exactly known proportion: those of Judite descent, those of Idumean origin, proselytes of other origins. And on page 43, it says, within the modern Jewish people are an alien element, among which are the Idumean Hittites, masquerading as the true seed of Abraham and seeking to expel the direct descendants of Jacob. Page 59, Esau proposed to kill Jacob. And this is what people miss, right? This is in Genesis chapter 27 and 42, where Esau was going to kill Jacob. And that carried all the way over till Jacob had to pretty much make obeisance to his big brother, man, so the dude wouldn't kill his family, right? Well, it says Esau proposed to kill Jacob. It was the seed of Esau that blighted the Judah nation and usurped the name of Jew. And if we can see that all in the New Testament.
Right.
First they were the Herodians. Then when they destroyed the temple, according to Josephus, when the Edomites saw it was a lost cause, they just switched sides. Right? Okay then.
Who is this? Jimmy Rizzo?
Anyway, there may be justification for the view that the seed of Esau became the first judges, who were called Jews, but whose order persecuted the Judites of Spain in an attempt to destroy them. And that's what we were just talking about. That's the Spanish Inquisition right there, right? And the Jews in Spain and Portugal were a dark-skinned melanated people who were confused with the Negroes in Africa, right? To the point where they kicked them out of Portugal and Spain. And not only did they kick the Jews out, because the Moroccans lost the battle to Spain in 1492. So they got rid of the Mohammedans or Islamists also. But they didn't persecute them like they persecuted us, because them folks had that in Mauritania, and they were so big they could just roll right back into the water. So they were real careful what they did to the Moors, right? But they dropped the Jews off on the west coast of Africa, butt naked, hoping the Moors would take into slavery, right? And that's the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade with the Portuguese. They knew who we were. They knew who they was picking up off the coast. They knew, right. So when, especially in the Indies, in the West Indies, all them folks down there got a claim to be of Portuguese Jews, right? And I'm gonna plug Dante Forson's channel because he did a little series on this, and I suggest y'all go peep it out when y'all got time. He's splitting like 5 parts, and it goes into the history of this. Like I said, I'm gonna bring it out too, but he's already got it up there, so y'all we can go through it. But he's already got a good class up there about these Jews that was in Spain and Portugal, and where they came from, and how they got over here, and why we say we those people, right? Nobody else can make that claim because nobody else went through what our people went through, right? Nobody fits the curses, all of them, not all of them. Right, like stuff that's happening over here in America. If you live in a trailer park, you Caucasian person and live in a trailer park, and they come take your kids. That's your nation of people doing that to you. That don't fit the curse, right? If they come take our kids, that's a whole nother nation of people taking our kids from us, right? And that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all trying to make everybody the same in one breath, and not the same in the next breath. And then we try to tell you we are a nation of people that's being persecuted by another nation of people, right? You know, if a nation wants to persecute its own, that's on them. That's internal beef. That don't got nothing to do with us. And that's why I told y'all, don't be out there protesting, taking sides in this conflict going on in the Middle East, in that land over there. That don't got nothing to do with it. Right? The Lord said you're gonna run with a multitude to do evil, man. Y'all keep going up in there, just like them brothers that ran up in that White House on January the 6th. They ain't had no business up in there. And them the one, they got more time. Then one brother got more time than most of them folks, and he didn't even go. He was just on the computer. Right? When we tell y'all to stay out of them folks' business, y'all stay out of them folks' business. And at the same token, we don't want them in our business.
All right.
Right? Ezra chapter 4. That's what we're talking about.
All right, because we ain't on there one of their side, man. We ain't on the Palestinian side. We ain't on the small head side. We can care less what they got going on over there. We only worried about our people. That's it. We ain't worried about no other nation. We just worry about the so-called black, Spanish, and Native American. Anything else, any race, a nation of people got going on, they ain't got nothing to do with us, bro. We not helping none of them. We not protesting neither one of them.
We hands off. And then that's why y'all mad too, because even with the politics and all this stuff going on, our people starting to wake up now in these last days, and they just staying out of it. I ain't in it. And that makes y'all more angry than if we pick a side. But again, we told y'all sisters, man, to leave Esau alone, man. There have been another sister got murked. You know?
She was around about what, 19? She was a young woman too, wasn't
it? There's 2 sisters in the last 3 weeks, man. Right? That one I was talking about Saturday, they found out about it all over the city. This other one, they found her leg or something. Y'all got to be careful.
Want to be with Esau, man.
I've been telling y'all, man, the problems that we got among each other, man, It's like that's in-house stuff. It's supposed to stay in-house. You got a problem with your woman, man. If you love your woman, you 99 times out of 100, you ain't gonna kill her. It's always that one Jake that just
Yeah.
too emotional.
Yeah.
Right? It's always that one, but we might be 1 in 100, man, and they might be 10 in 100. You know, it just and we got an excuse because most of us don't have a daddy in the home. Most of our people, because the daddy locked up or dead. What's y'all's excuse? Why are your sons so emotional? Huh? Because that blessing, man, you want that blessing and you ain't gonna get it back though. You seek it out carefully with tears.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up, man. Hebrews. Let me go on here.
12 and 7.
16,
yeah.
Gonna bring that out. There's the book of Hebrews.
Going back, man, y'all forgiving Dylan Roof, man. He is not repenting. He don't have no place in his heart to repent.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
And that's a double entendre right there, because that's talking about spiritual fornication and physical fornication. Right?
All right.
And look at the biggest porn lord is Hugh Hefner. How that happen? Right? You let one of us try that, man. They'll shut us down and take everything from them.
When you look at that fornication too, man, like you said, man, he saw, when it comes to fornication, man, he saw top of the charts, man. That's why you always read about his women or him, you know what I'm saying, sleeping with animals and different things. When you mostly read about things like that, who you always see doing those things, man. We ain't saying there's a few here and there from other nations, but the majority of the people, when you read reports in the news that's caught sleeping with their dogs and other animals, man, it's always the so-called white man or white woman, man. That's why in the book of Job, he said he wouldn't even allow them to be next to his dogs, man. Cause he knew what they liable to do, man. Sleep with the damn dog, man. That's Esau for you, man.
Come on, man. And just, the scripture you just read, man. How is it that if Esau is a doctrine, how's a doctrine going to seek repentance with tears, man? Going to an actual person, man.
A doctrine is, like you said, a doctrine is seeking repentance carefully with tears. Man, that makes absolutely no sense. Like I said, man, if you believe Esau and Edom is an allegory, man, like I don't know what to tell you, man. Really don't. Like I said, man, that's one of the most craziest doctrines I ever heard since I've been in this truth, man.
Then you got the brother, man, cheering them on in the background, cheerleading for him, man.
I'm like, man, these people really can't believe what this brother's saying, man. You can't tell me they believe that, man.
That's one of the silliest things I heard of, man.
Yeah. Oh, man, I think little D must have fell asleep or something, man.
Yeah.
He said it was a little too late for him, man. He had go ahead and fall asleep. Little D, man, we tried to wait for you, man. God. Try to wait for you, man.
I thank the Lord for giving me the Sabbath day off, man. I thank the Lord for that. I know you brothers out there got it hard, man. Y'all just pray, man. Lord, you start doing right, the Lord will make a way for you.
Man, that's about it, man. Y'all brothers ain't got anything else y'all want to know the scriptures or anything else y'all want to bring out, man. So you're at the end.
I'm good.
May the grace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, rest in the battle with you now forevermore.
We hope you brothers, y'all were edified, man. You know, say y'all got any other questions or comments, man, leave it on the comment board. Like we said, we give all praise to Yahweh through his son, Yahweh Shah. And with that, man, we say shalom.
Shalom.